Hi, everyone. Let's talk about the Grays. Five adopted children, two deceased while in the care of the Grays, three locked in the basement or cages and starved, only giving bread for months. How could this happen? The Grays lived in Mississippi and moved to Tennessee in the mid 1990s. From 2007 to 2011, a total of five children, two girls and three boys, were adopted. One boy, Jonathan, and one girl, Sophie, died while in the care of the Grays. Well, I would not say care, more like a horror show. You adopted five kids to love, not harm or even kill. An East Tennessee couple accused of child abuse, murder, abuse of a corpse, and fraud. What happened here in this house? This house is in Halls, Tennessee. Michael and Shirley Gray lived with their biological son from 2011 and 2016 in this house in the Halls area of Knoxville, Tennessee. During that time, they had five adopted children that lived downstairs with them. The Grays are accused of starving, abusing, and killing the children they adopted. Jonathan Gray, one of the children they adopted, was only 8 years old. They found his body buried in the backyard of the Halls home. The Grays then moved to 10 Mile, Rome County area and continued the nightmare for the adopted children. It was reported that the children were disciplined by placing them in cages and only feeding them bread and water. In 2017, they allegedly starved their 11-year-old adopted daughter, Sophie Heather Gray, to death for stealing food from the pantry. While being locked up in the basement, she died, and they kept her in a cardboard box for a while. They then buried her in the pole barn on the property. So that is two adopted children dead at the hands of the people who supposedly loved them. If this room is cleaned up, I could not imagine what it looked like when it was occupied. It was reported that the floors were covered in animal and human feces. The children used buckets and newspapers for their restroom needs. This picture haunts me. It leads to the outside downstairs area. Just how can someone do this? So how did the police find them? One of the adopted children was found riding a scooter on the road. He told the police about his house. Some news stations reported Michael Gray also told of the horrible events. See, this means he did not see anything wrong with his or his wife's actions, just horrible. A 15-year-old boy was in the home's unfinished and partly flooded basement. The basement was full of garbage, mold, exposed wires, and had no electricity, running water, or a bathroom. The 15-year-old boy was locked in the basement from 2016 for stealing food. He was in this basement for approximately 4 years. He was only giving bread and water. After adoption is complete, no one checks on the children in the state of Tennessee. How could someone do this? How can adopted kids get adopted into such evil? Why are there no checkups or contacts after adopting? The Grays drew state payment for the five children in their care. They had three boys and two girls. They never reported Jonathan or Sophie passing. Well, they murdered them, in my opinion. They received $3,000 a month through the Department of Child Service Adoption Assistance Program. That's about $430,000. Why is the system failing kids? Why in the United States is this allowed to happen? Why anywhere for that fact? Two boys and one girl were returned to state's custody after the Grays were arrested in May in Roane County. Homeschooled. It was reported that the children were enrolled in homeschooled studies. Shirley Gray filled out paperwork stating all were participating in homeschool. No one checks on homeschooled children. I don't understand how these children just got adopted and abused, two murdered, and no one saw anything. Children are not disposable. Why are we allowing this to happen? What safe measures need to be changed? Thank you for helping me bring attention to this. Something has got to change, and we've all got to step up for the children of the world. Thank you.